good. Right guys, hello, welcome back to YouTube. So today is just basically going to go through a little bit of a day in my life. Today's a rest day, so it's Thursday. I have Thursdays and Sundays as rest days, and we're also going to go through my rest day meals. So time is 12:38, so it's just gone midday. I've already had 2 meals, so Pete's going to work his magic and he's going to show you what we've done so far this morning in terms of a morning routine and my meals. So I'm going to try and get through the rest of my check-ins from today. I've been doing check-ins all morning, so I'll try and get through the rest of those, and then we'll go and get on with the rest of the day. So sit back, relax, enjoy it, like the video already, make sure you're subscribed as well. I usually do this at the end, but I'm going to do it at the start and the end. And also, if I don't plug my Instagram, follow my Instagram. Pete, put my Instagram somewhere please. Follow my Instagram guys if you're not already.
Wrong, but I just don't feel it, mate. And there's probably another exercise out there that's going to do me better than that one, to be honest. But let's see what you come back with. I've been trying to stay positive, mate. I'm always trying to stay positive. I've got my shoulders, my arms are small, mate. I've got banter 170 and I'm so disappointed. You know, I look at myself and I think I'm nothing like what I wanted. Got a good leg session yesterday. Had a spot there, good. But it's always going to happen. Always going to happen.
What was a check-in? Probably half an hour. I think at 31 minutes. But that was when I was like relatively new to coaching. Now it's I make sure I say to everybody, please keep it within 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes people go a little bit over, but I'm not going to be bothered if they're just letting me know what they need to let me know about. Me and Shannon are doing the same thing at the minute, although people don't seem to be getting back to us about going and viewing houses. So we need to get ringing them rather than emailing them. In terms of the struggles this week with your shoulder, mate, it's obviously it's frustrating, but instead of getting worked up about it and getting stressed and getting upset about it, instead we need to look at, right, what's the solution? That kind of rehab program within your training. Get some tissue work done, but again, mate, working yourself up and getting stressed out about it is only going to make it worse. Okay, so what I want you to do, if you're within the rep range and I'm happy with the form, and obviously you send all your videos over, so if I'm happy with the form, today is Thursday, so I have 13 check-ins, I think 12, 13 today. Obviously every now and again you'll have 1 or 2 that might not check in for whatever reason, but yeah, generally like every day at the minute I have 10 to 12, and then a little bit less on a weekend, especially on a Sunday, because that's the day that me and Shannon try and spend some more time together. What's in this check-in, mate, is obviously the changes to programming based on the new gym. Now you're back at home, obviously, rather than being at uni. Okay, I'm gonna have a drink, then we can do this clip. Okay, so I'm going to show everybody how I make cream of rice. This is the quickest and easiest way. I use the JP cream of rice. So I'm going to boil the kettle. When the kettle's almost like 30 seconds away from fully boiled, that's when I'm going to stop it. So I only have 100 grams on rest days. On training days I have 125. Oh no. This is a vital part of the cream of rice making process. Just before that's boiled, I'll click it off. I don't want it to be absolutely boiling, because as soon as I pour it in there, it'll just cook it straight away and it'll just be all clumpy. The reason I've got this on as well is so that if it's too hot, I can quickly dash in and out of the cold. Okay, so this is how quick and easy it is. So I'm whisking as I pour it in. If it gets too thick, which it hasn't yet, if it gets a bit too thick, I dash it in and out, just a tiny bit at a time, whisking, always whisking as I go. It's probably taken me 30 seconds, and it's banging consistency every time. And then all I've got to do is put my dark chocolate on it and then put the whey on it. And then a bit of salt. I usually measure my salt out, but I've got to the point now where I kind of know where like 1 to 2 grams of low salt is. Cool. Don't fall down the stairs, Pete. pretty cool. Give it a go. I've not tried it like that before. Hello. I'm in with you, mate. I've got someone filming as well.
Oh, right,
Do you mind?
No, mate.
Is Dario not here?
So what's with the filming?
Mate, people don't give a shit about training. They care about what you eat and...
It's like reality TV.
Yeah, I know, I should do, mate. I should do a rap.
You should do a rap, mate.
Okay, me and Reese will have to do one. I know, people do seem to be a lot more interested in everyday life. But my everyday life is very boring. It is, mate. It's literally just eat.
You just said you eat and train.
It's literally all it is.
Eat, train, sleep.
And work, it's not very exciting.
And they were just like,
I have people check in on certain days. So I'll say to them, like, right, your check-in day is Wednesday, you get feedback on Thursday.
Yeah.
If they don't check in on Wednesday, I don't want to be rude and say, right, you're not having a check-in this week, because I want to help them. But if they haven't checked in on time, it means that it's eating up into other time that I've got planned out for other check-ins or other work or training.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, what? Well, I was just give them a ring.
It's crazy how everything's developed in such a short period of time. If you think, like, I've been alive nearly 25 years, and from when I was born to now, that looks like, when I look at photos of when I was a kid, it's like, fucking hell. It looks like it was like the 1800s. But even if you actually look at the 1800s and you look at now, you think, how is that only a couple of hundred years ago?
Yeah,
that looks like millions of years ago.
And that's why you know it's going to be like, it's going to be crazy in 100 years.
Spot on, mate, thank you. Yeah, all good. I've got clients competing this year. So that's my face there versus like, well, you can see my face now. I told you I was fat.
Yeah, but you know, but not.
But yeah, like, it depends. Alright, cheers, mate. Have a good one. See you in a bit. Oh, it's not snowing anymore. Right, Pete, we're going there. We're going this way because I've got to get a sunbed now. But hopefully, last time I burnt my head because I had my hair cut and then obviously went on the sunbed, so my head burnt. So hopefully my head doesn't burn today. Although it was because there was new tubes or new bulbs, they said last time. So hopefully I'm not gonna get burnt. But I haven't been on in like a week. I used to go on every single rest day, so that was twice a week. But yeah, I go on like once a week at the minute, pretty much. This place, are you ready? This place on the right, the cafe. This is the place to go for it if you want a date, mate. Yeah, lovely, look. Absolutely lovely. That's the best place. Right, we're here. You can, to be fair, mate, you can come in if you want. Been waiting for me. It's time for meal 3, and then I'll be jumping on the podcast. I'm not really that arsed about any kind of off-plan meal at the minute. Maybe a pizza, Domino's. Quite partial to a Domino's. Not just randomly saying that. Pete asked me what my favourite off-plan meal is. I don't know. Domino's. There's a place called Oodles in Loughborough, and it's Chinese. Me and Reese. Not that long actually. Maybe about 4 years, something like that. The first time I met him, I was taking the piss out of him in the gym because he was walking around in a white vest and he was walking around like this. But then he saw me taking the piss out of him. It was all like, I wasn't being horrible, I was like laughing with him. And then we just had a chat after that. I think I followed each other on social media, and then we were like, oh, we should train at some point, train together, and then the rest is history, mate. And I've got an amazing friendship. This is sludge, protein sludge. So this is going to go on top of the cream of rice for the protein sauce. Because the cream of rice is the carb sauce, and then the dark chocolate, let me just get it out of here. The dark chocolate is the fat sauce. So half an hour, it's pretty chilled now. Usually I'll make it first thing in the morning, but because Pete was coming and Pete wasn't here first thing in the morning, I thought I'd wait so I could show you guys, give you such great value. I could show you how to make cream of rice. If it's a training day, what I'll do in the mornings as well is I'll make my pre and my intra workout as well, just so that that's sorted and then I can crack on with work and I've got everything ready for when I need it later on through the day. Cool. So for what it is, like, it's absolutely sound. But yeah, it would be nice when we get a house just to have a bit more room and, like I say, to actually stop paying rent and actually be paying towards our own mortgage. I'm currently sending Reese the invite. This is behind the scenes. So basically, I'm the host. What I'll do is I will copy the invite. So this is all on Zoom. And then what I'll do is I'll message Reese and I'll send him the link. Reese's Wi-Fi is a bit shit at times. To be fair, it's never actually too bad. I was saying, I've got, in Reese's video, the two lads podcast that we were watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying to him in his check-in today, I was like, it'd be good if me and Reese had that where we were sat together and had somewhere where we could actually do it in person. Because I feel like it just adds more to a podcast. It is good. But yeah, it's more so like the people that listen to it seem to be quite invested in it, which is good. I haven't checked, but I feel like the actual watch time and listen time will be quite high because we tend to, like, I'm not sure 100%, but we tend to get like a decent amount of people that say that they watch it or listen to it. God knows, mate. We just chat about random shit. We've got some questions. Got a question about deloading. Got a question about training at 4 a.m. Got a question about maintaining muscle while travelling. So any of these, mate, could be the title. Usually what we do is we'll chat about something, just whatever we end up chatting about for the first 20 minutes, and then we'll go through the questions, and then I will pick one of those questions to be the actual title of the podcast. But often, this actually every week, not often, every single week, I forget what we spoke about. So I have to go back and try and remember or go through little bits of the podcast and then be like, oh yeah, I could use that as a title, could use that. So I forget every time. I'll try and remember this time actually. Hello?
Hello? I'm going to have to go close my curtain. Those lights are annoying, aren't they? Look at that. Can't even see me. Hey guys?
Go and close the curtains then. Look how short my hair
Close
is.
the curtain, okay. Well, I've got no trousers on. Hopefully you don't mind. I've got no trousers on, hopefully.
No, don't show
Don't show
again. The video will get flagged again. Too much male nudity in my videos. My hair's so short.
I like it, mate. That's good.
By the way, for the people on the podcast, people watching, you'll see there's a hand that's just crept into my screen. That's Pete's hand. So we've got Pete filming for my YouTube today. So if you don't watch my YouTube, but you watch me on YouTube, but the podcast, then what are you doing? Go and watch my videos as well. And Reese's.
Thanks for that, mate.
It's alright, mate.
Means a lot. Yeah. Anything
All
that
good,
you want to say live on the pod?
Not really. Everything's going well. Training's going all right. Back's holding up somewhat. Yeah, generally all good. Like I say every week, in my my off-season update is very, very much the same every single week. I'm eating more. I'm gaining weight. I'm feeling good. What am I, 225 pounds now? Pretty much averaging that, which is still feeling all right. Obviously spoke before about doing a pre-prep diet pretty soon. I'm still not set on exactly when.
We're not calling it a pre-prep diet. It's just
That's it. I have clients like that where like they literally they'll rate their sessions and I have it as like unreal, great, good, and so on. So there's like 5 different sort of scenarios. Yeah. And if it's anything for some people, if it's anything less than unreal, I'm like dealer. Because they log every session as unreal. And if it's not, I'm like there's obviously something wrong. Right, we'll finish off with Ped's fun fact.
Here we go.
Apparently it's in my DMs apparently. Oh, it's a long one. Here we go, are you ready?
Yep.
There was a guy who always squatted in the opposite way. That is, he detached the bar on the opposite side of the pins so that instead of taking 2 steps back, he did them forward. But he used to really take 6 to 7 steps forward. He really squatted a lot far from the rack. He did like 30 reps, and when he had to put the bar back, he would take 6 to 7 steps backwards and reposition the bar on the pins. But one day, the inevitable happened. What I had always feared. he unplugged the bar. Took his steps and started his set of squats. In the meantime, I saw a boy, certainly also a beginner, who, seeing the apparently free rack, decided to take away the pins from his rack to use them elsewhere.
I didn't think that.
I didn't. I just thought he was going to fall. I just thought he was going to.
Yeah, I thought he was going to like go and rack it, be tired, and just fall over.
I leave you to imagine the ending.
Welcome you guys back in the next episode. Bye bye.
The recording has stopped.
Oh, sorted, mate. That was good. That was a good one. I usually upload it like in the next few days, but it goes live on Mondays at 8 AM on Spotify and YouTube. So it's 5 o'clock. It's time to make some more food, go on a walk, get back to some messages, and find out what's going on with my car. So I am making chicken and rice, or I'm food prepping chicken and rice. So for the chicken, I use my air fryer, which if you haven't got one and you struggle making food or you moan about food prep, then just spend the 50 quid. I guarantee that it's worth it, and I wish I'd have done it years ago. So what I do is I put foil in there just so it saves me cleaning, and it also means that it saves sort of all the juices within the foil, so it makes the chicken a bit more moist. I get all of my my meat from the local butchers as well, just because generally the quality is better. It's a little bit more expensive, but yeah, the quality is better, and I guess I'm supporting local businesses as well by doing that. Cover it in this, or half a packet of this. You can get this from Tesco. It's a Flavour It garlic and herb, and I tell you what, it is banging. And I use my plastic spatula to mix it around, and then generally I put it in the air fryer, stir it to be fair, I stir it about twice. I stir it after about 2 minutes, and then I stir it after about 15 minutes. But overall it's done in about 20. Very easy. 2 minutes and it's in. And then, so this is the rice cooker. Again, if you haven't got one, I would recommend it. I think it was like 30 quid. And getting jasmine rice is a little bit more expensive, but it just digests so much better with me. But if you're spending a lot of money on packet rice, get yourself a rice cooker, get yourself a big pack of white rice, make it on your own. It's a lot easier. Usually I will do like 700 to 800 grams at a time, so that's 300. We'll do 800 today. So basically I have 100 gram servings at a time, both on training days and on rest days. So what I will do, and I've done it in the past anyway, 100 grams generally equates to about 240 grams of cooked weight. So I know when I do 800 grams, it's going to be 800 times 2.4 basically. So when I'm weighing it out, once it's cooked, I know, right, I need 240 grams rather than 100 grams because that's the raw weight that I'm classing it as. How I like it is 1 cup of water to 100 grams of rice. You can do it different to that, but that's what I've found works best for me. So then I'll basically just fill that up. I do it really quick like this, so I have the tap on really fast and I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Put that in there. Stir it around so it's not all clogged together. Put the lid on, press cook, press it down to cook, and then you literally just wait until it clicks. So that 800 grams, that'll take about 20-25 minutes. If I was to put like 200 grams in, it'd take about 10 minutes. But it'll click and it'll go on to warm when it's done. Then I'll stir it and then give it another few minutes on warm and then it's ready. Again, you know, this is so easy. If I'm doing check-ins, I can do that. I can go and do a check-in. I'll come back to it and it's done, pretty much. So, I've just been to the garage. Car's not ready yet. Hopefully it'll be ready tomorrow morning. You might have just heard that click. So it just went from cook to warm. So when it does that, that's when you stir it. But be careful not to burn yourself. Frozen green beans, just because they last longer, a little bit cheaper, nice and easy to do. 100 grams of these. So what I do with the chicken, once it's ready, is I'll basically like mash it all up like that. So it almost gives it like a, you know, like pulled pork, it's like pulled chicken. So this is 450 grams of chicken, and then I'll get that split into 3 of obviously 150. Realistically, I don't have the time available to be standing and cooking for half an hour or an hour every meal, like no chance. So I'll do this, and then all I really have to do is just warm them up. So like now I've got that rice will last me a few days, the chicken's the next 3 days of chicken. So it's literally do the green beans, the rice and the chicken together, put them in the microwave, put the salt and the sauces on, and it's done. So yeah, it is for ease, but also I do really enjoy it. I do enjoy the flavours. Like, I wouldn't eat something if I was like, this is grim, but I'm also not like, oh, you know, everything has to be amazingly flavoured. It's just, as long as it's decent, and as long as it gives me the energy that I need to perform, that's all that matters. So one thing that I used to be, obviously when it comes to contest prep, like I will be even more accurate with things, but I used to be like insanely accurate with everything, be obsessed if it was like a gram over. But ultimately, I've made 3 servings of chicken there. I'm going to have them over the next 3 days. As long as I don't have 300 grams in one go and then 250 grams, like it's very close. So it might be 115 or 120 or 125, like, but it's generally going to be very, very close. I have this combo. You can get both of these from Tesco. Olive oil with garlic, very, very nice. And then the Nando's lemon and herb, extra mild, because anything above extra mild is way too spicy for me. And I'm being serious as well. So I have 5 grams of the olive oil, which is basically 5 grams of fat. And then I'll have 20 grams of the Nando's. There we go. Looks fantastic. Like for me, like food is I don't want to just like, oh, food is just fuel, but generally like it is, and I just focus on, you know, what do I need to actually get in, what targets do I need to hit, what foods are going to help me hit those targets based on what phase I'm in, what foods do I enjoy, what foods digest well, and then basically have like those pools of food. So like for example, my carb sources, my pool of carb sources are rice and rice-based products, fruit-based products, bread-based products, cereal. That's basically it. And then when it comes to protein, it's generally chicken, eggs, egg whites, whey protein, steak mince, salmon. Like they're my protein sources, yogurt. And then when it comes to fats, I have the garlic olive oil, dark chocolate, salmon and beef you could include within that. But yeah, like generally all that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what I eat, and I just have them in the quantities that I need for those given meals. And obviously when it comes to dieting, like those foods will change, because I'll choose foods that are a lot more satiating. So like I'll switch some of my meals, like my rice meal might over time switch to a potato meal, or my cream of rice meal might switch to an oats meal. But again, you know, I've got to assess how is that meal digesting. On paper it might be more satiating, it might be a lower GI carb, but is it going to digest as well? So that's one of the most important things to make sure that my digestion's in a good spot and that I'm feeling good. Shannon absolutely hates my washing up. My washing up is literally just like, and it's sorted. When I was, we'll go all the way back, mate. My first job, I worked in catering for this woman, which was evil. She was like an evil bitch. And I don't even care saying it. I hope she watches it. She was just a nasty person. After that, I worked at Next. So back at home, I worked at Next, and I worked there for a good, I had a year out between, I worked there while I was at college, then I had a year out between college and uni, and I worked there full time, and like worked my way up and did pretty well. And then when I came to uni, I switched to the Next here. So I started working at the Next here, but I also worked at the cinema, because I had loads of free time. Like when you're at uni, you have a few lectures and that was it, especially in first year. I got promoted at the cinema to work at the restaurant that was attached, so I was a manager there. And then at that point I was earning like £9 an hour, and I was like, this is fucking mint. £9 an hour. I was like, it's mental. I was buzzing. And then I did my PT course because obviously I didn't want to work at the cinema or a restaurant or Next Forever. The day I got my PT certificate or qualification was on a Friday. Saturday morning I went to Pure Gym, which is literally across the road. And I got the job there straight away. They were like, yeah, sound like, here's a job for you. I was like, sound. And then I worked there, but I still had the other 2 jobs. As I built up my clients, I reduced my hours at the other jobs. So I'd tell the other jobs, look, I'm going to have to reduce my hours. I'm going to have to do 3 shifts rather than 4. Because I was working like every night at the restaurant. So I reduced my hours, and then as I got busier and busier with PTing, I just completely went to PTing. And then it kind of the same thing happened with coaching. I started doing coaching alongside PTing. Obviously, COVID hit, and it was obviously I wasn't able to PT people in person, so it was all online. And then I went from PTing and coaching to solely coaching, and that's where I am today. Tell you what, that was a good little journey that we just went on there, Pete. People expect, I think there's almost a perception about online coaching that it's like an easy job, and obviously, like, people know how much work me and Reese do. Like, we work pretty much all the way in the car on the way to the gym, all the way back. We're working all day around our training session. The time that we train is the time that we don't work, but we might have Pete there filming, which is kind of work. It's like, marketing ourselves and putting out content. So yeah, it's not an easy job, but I love it. Like, I wouldn't change it. It doesn't feel like work, so it is an easy job in that sense. But because I've come from that background where I've worked 3 jobs and been at uni and been earning £5 an hour, or when I was at the cinema, mate, I was earning like £5.50. Like, it wasn't a lot at all. And that's when I was like 19. That's not when I was like 14. That's when I was 19. I was earning £5.50 an hour working at the cinema. So I think, that makes me appreciate what I do now a lot more than if I just sort of fell into it. Which not, obviously you don't just fall into it because you have to work hard, but I think some people go to uni and then, do a PT course and then go straight into online coaching. But because I've done those jobs that I didn't want to do long term and didn't enjoy, it makes me appreciate like what I'm doing now a lot more. There's a bit of a debate as to like, do you need to be a bodybuilder or do you need to have competed yourself to be a good coach? I don't think you necessarily do, but I think understanding what clients are going to go through when it comes to a contest prep, having those experiences yourself, also showcasing that you can do it yourself, I do think that is important. But like I say, even if I wasn't to compete, I would still love to do what I do now, but it would be probably focusing more on lifestyle clients rather than focusing more on people who do want to compete. But I still coach loads of lifestyle clients as well. I'm just going to run through the comments that I've put here. Anything I've not commented on is good. So, like, for example, the adductor, I was happy with, mate. The hamstring curl as well, really good. So, in terms of calves, just push yourself more, mate. Yeah, there's more reps available for the taking there. Okay, so more eccentric control. I think 2 to 3 seconds controlling it, resist the machine. And again, try and keep the reps more continuous until you actually need a pause. Anyway, Pete, show Shannon. No. Quick. People think she doesn't exist because she doesn't go on the videos. She doesn't like being on stories or anything. So people have claimed that she's a myth, but she is real. So this is, well, I'm hoping this is hopefully going to be an exciting parcel. Maybe I should start an unboxing channel and just unbox different things and get sent loads of different things. So, thank you very much to CMP for this box. The link is in the description for CMP discount, use Fin15. So, they have sent me, it says, to Fin, keep smashing it, bro. Sent me this, which is like a limited edition EAA. It is cherry lime. They're not selling it on their website, but they're selling it through some other distributors. So I will post that on my story at some point. I don't know which distributors they're selling it through, but I will like that. Because I like lime things. I'm not a huge fan of cherry, but cherry and lime together will be good. Shaker, I needed one of these actually. I got one the other day, but I needed another one, so that is going to be helpful. And then, this is the coolest part, although that is cool. They've got socks. right? And I wear white socks. They're cool, aren't they, Pete? They are cool. So I'll wear those because I usually wear, when I train legs, I wear my white Adidas ones. And this is cool as well. So this is a t-shirt that says CMP Athlete. They've given me double XL. Why,
they know you well.
Why do they think I'm massive? I first got sponsored by them. There's a video on it. They gave me a massive t-shirt and I kept it and I was like, oh yeah, I'll grow into it. That's the one that I wear now sometimes, which is like, it fits normal now. But it was like a bloody bed sheet. To be fair, that's not too big, is it? Look, alright. Double XL. If you're going to buy anything CMP wise, or if you want to buy anything, make sure you use the link below. Use Fin15 for 15% off. Thanks, guys. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. So, what I'm going to do, basically this evening, once Peter's gone, is I've got one more meal left. So I'll film that and I'll send it to Pete and he can put it in the video somewhere. Again, today's a rest day, so the macros that I hit are 245 protein, 450 carb and 80 fat. So it's 3,500 calories. So it's not a huge amount of food, but also my expenditure isn't very high. I do 20 minutes cardio every morning, steps 6 to 8k average. So yeah, it's not at the minute, especially on rest days. My food on training days is quite a bit higher. At some point I'll do like a training day, full day of eating as well. But yeah, otherwise this has just been like a standard rest day for me. Yes, it is quite boring. I'm not going to go and show you loads of cool things that I do, which I don't do. My life is very much monotonous. I get up, I do my cardio, I do my check-ins, I get back to everyone. If it's a train day, I go and train. If it's not, I do more work, or I go and get my hair cut, or go on the Sunbed, or I get Pete to come and film me. But yeah, that's basically how it is, and I enjoy it. It's what I enjoy doing. It's although it's very boring and it's quite monotonous for a lot of people, like it's what I enjoy doing. It's a job that I love. I get to work with some really cool people every single day. And yeah, I get to sit and enjoy my meals and eat my food when I want to eat my food and things like that. So I cannot complain whatsoever. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please do comment with any suggestions of anything else you want to see, because obviously I've given you some training videos. I've given you now some day in the life kind of videos in the past couple of weeks. So yeah, please do let me know what you want to see. Any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments. Like the video, like I said at the beginning, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.